have a first speech. Her name is Delisa. It is from our Pathways Visionary Communication. It's her level 4, L4, and it is for creating a podcast. The title of her speech is called Conform or Go Home. I would like to welcome you, Delisa.
Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This project was create a podcast, an introduction, 2 to 3 minutes. I will not bore you with that because I already have a podcast. If y'all want to listen to it, look me up. And then to create one episode, which would be a 5 to 7 minute talk. So here's my talk. Conform or go home. When I was 4, it was a hot summer day, and I said to my mom, I'm going to go play with my cousin Dean. She said, okay. And I ran out of the house across the driveway to where my cousin Dean lived. I was wearing shorts and flip-flops. I got to his front porch where he was playing with his friend Jimmy. They're both 7. And Dean looked at me and said, you can't play with us because you're not wearing a shirt. And I said, you're not wearing a shirt, and Jimmy's not wearing a shirt. He said, yeah, you're a girl. You have to wear a shirt or you cannot play with us. So I went home. I put on a shirt. And my mother said to me, what are you doing? I said, I'm putting on a shirt because Dean won't play with me unless I'm wearing a shirt. And she said, that's ridiculous. You're a little girl. You don't have to wear a shirt. I said, well, if I want to play with Dean, I do. So that day, I conformed. But did I have to? I bet something like that happened to you. When I was in my 20s, I worked on fishing boats. And my friends were loggers and fishermen. It was the end of logging and fishing in the Pacific Northwest when you could still make a living being a logger or a fisherman. My fisherman friends would brag about how it was so rough that when they went out in the winter over the bar, they would back their crab boat out instead of going face first because the waves would break all the windows in their wheelhouse. And if they went out backwards, the waves just crashed on the back of the boat. And they talked about getting smashed in the gear and hoping that they didn't get pulled overboard by a line that would take them to the bottom of the ocean. My logger friends wore gear that had nothing they could get snagged on. They had no buttons. They cut their cuffs off of their shirts. The bottom of their pants were frayed. They never wore shoes that tied with laces because at any given moment they had to run from equipment that was falling or a log that was rolling toward them. And the guys that used the chainsaws used to joke that if they dropped the chainsaw and it hit their leg, it stopped at the bone. Now, when I worked with these guys, I had a swagger, I wore jeans, I smoked a lot of cigarettes, and I cursed. Did I have to? In my 30s and 40s, I was a real estate broker, and I was told that men wear suits and ties. Women wear suits or dresses with a jacket or a sweater. We were to drive a late model, 4-door, light-colored car that we kept clean all the time. So I did. I had big hair, big shoulder pads, and dry clean only clothes. I conformed to fit in. But did I have to? I'm not so sure. Here's a quote that I love, love, love from an American philosopher. He lived about 100 years ago, Charles Cooley. He says, I am not what I think I am. I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. I want to say that one more time because it's kind of a mind trick. I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am what I think you think I am.